of Us. Opening credit. There's no Joel anymore. Did you see that? There was no.
Really?
Yeah, the opening credit. Do you skip through it?
I always skip it.
Yeah, because in the ending, remember in the first season they had the small image and the big image. After Joel died, they don't have it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
Today we're gonna start off with our review of Last of Us Season 2. We named it Episode 6 and 7, but we are gonna talk about the entire season. Full spoilers ahead, and then we're gonna do a brief mid-season review of Lazarus, which is up till 7th episode. I haven't watched all of it yet, but I am in the middle of it. Won-Jin is also in the middle of it. And I think we're going to do another review of Lazarus after all 13 episodes are aired.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a Let's Talk session. Scott Walker, we saw your comments about Jurassic Park.
Thomas and Friends.
But we will talk about everything and anything in that talk session.
Oh, Scott Walker, what's up?
What's up, Walker, in the building? Yeah, Walker, we saw your reply, of course, but I think we're going to start our Let's Talking about in about 40 minutes. So if you want to join us then, that's when you need to come back. Oh, sorry for a little slight delay in the start. It's my fault. I came a little bit late. But we will do a Let's Talk where we can talk about all of those things, Walker. But we're going to start off with Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6 and 7. And big shout out to Ichan Home, too, because last time I think you wanted our take on episode 6.
On the episode of The Last of Us.
Yeah, sorry for our little mix-up, but this time we will be talking about it. And big shout out to Kayla Marie, Jasmine, Music, Russian ID, Void a Parrot, and Scott Walker, Zedzi, and all our 60 subscribers. What's up, Zedzi in the building? Yo, Won-Jin, one of our subscribers left.
Really?
Yeah, we had 61, but now we have 60.
Oh no.
It's all right. We were going for quality. Hey, Won-Jin, we want the 100 Centurion first. The loyalist JoeJin movie. The loyalist. The awesome team. Oh, Zezzy, sorry for the delay. It's my fault. I came a little late. But anyway, here we go. So, Won-Jin, I need to apologize to you and our listeners because I thought season 2 was the end of the entire series, but it turned out I was wrong. Like, there's another season. Season 3 is gonna be in a year or two,
I guess. And since this has the story preset by the game, and I haven't played the game, so maybe the gamers knew that this was not going to be the end. I don't know how far the story has progressed, but I'm guessing that they can't just leave it like this.
No, but I have a problem with that. What is up with these 7 seasons? This trend.
Oh, you mean 7 episodes?
Yeah, because won't you remember in Breaking Bad season 5? What was it, season 5? It was called season 5 part 1 and 2. Soprano season 6 was called part 1 and 2. Why did they call it season 2? Because when they call it a whole season, I assume an arc is complete.
Yeah, and it's kind of annoying because I get the same feeling I got after watching the second season of Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a complete season. You're just leaving us in the middle.
Yeah, exactly, and I didn't like that. But before I talk about things I didn't like, I did like episode 6 though. What'd you think
flashback?
What'd you think about episode 6? What'd you think about it?
I liked it because I was so happy to see Joe Pantoliano, one of our favorite actors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was surprised that he played the character named Eugene.
Yeah.
So I liked that episode because it filled in a lot of holes left by dialogues at the beginning of the season.
They hinted at this.
Yeah.
I think they predicted that they were going to do this. That they were going to do a flashback episode.
So we now understand the whole context of the conversation between Joel and the psychotherapist. And I liked how they set this episode up so that the way Ellie found out that Joel lied to her was not through direct confession, but through observation.
No, but Won-Jin, you owe her apology. Remember, was it 4 weeks back? You said, No, Ellie is unforgivable because she didn't talk. She didn't talk to Joel, and then she just walked in the cash. But it turns out that part was missing. The other part where Ellie came back to talk to Joel. So don't you owe Ellie an apology for that?
Yeah, maybe. So I was thinking she was going through that teenage shit, the puberty thing. No. I hate dad.
It turns out she was very mature. She wanted to do what you said, but she came back and said, I want to forgive you. That was super adult of her. And do you know why I mentioned that? Because where's that Ellie after Joel died?
Yeah.
Like, listen.
It feels like she's completely forgotten about him.
Like, listen, Won-Jin. I think last week I said Bella Ramsey's acting was great when she was around Pedro Pascal. I was kind of wrong on that. It turns out I feel like it's not her fault at all. It's the writing. Like, who is Ellie, this mature person who's willing to forgive her adopted father for possible like crimes against humanity for his selfish interest of wanting a daughter, plus Ellie, who is super dumb, where on one episode she beats a woman with an iron pipe, and then she tried in episode 7. One of the scenes that bothered me was when she was trying to rescue the stranger from the cultist. I was like, who are you? Are you?
And she said that he's just a kid, but I wasn't exactly sure whether he was a kid or not, because that guy, he kind of seemed big to be called a kid.
No, and not just that, but it's kind of inconsistent because Ellie, I can't tell if Ellie is smart or stupid.
And Jesse was right because there were like 6 of them.
No, but
it's like, why risk
but that's not the point. Why would Ellie, this person who spent her life with Joel, her teenage life with Joel, who's very mature, who's very cold and calculating like Joel in a way in season 1, suddenly say, I want to rescue the stranger? Remember, she was like that with the black brother and younger brother, and
in Kansas City,
and she learned her lesson by burying them with Joel, and Joel being a pragmatist. Because in season 2, remember, Joel is the one who doesn't want to bring in more people to the village because they don't have the capacity to take them anymore. And I feel like Ellie, I can't decide whether Ellie is a cold-blooded killer like Joel or just stupid. Like, why are you feeling sentimentality for this person that you never met when you just iron piped a person that you think is responsible for your adopted father's death?
And someone who clearly had very little to do with hurting you.
Yeah. Like, I feel like even if, let's say for the sake of argument, Won-Jin, that season 2 and 3 was always planned, I feel like season 2 should have been a little bit longer.
Not only that, but I think they should have spent more time talking about the cordyceps and the pipes. You know how we were kind of like getting this hint that these the infected were strategizing. They were becoming more tactical, and it kind of felt like the cordyceps growing underground, they were kind of expanding like this radar thing. There's no explanation to this at all. Throughout the whole season. It's like, what's going on with this? Because remember, this show was supposed to be about cordyceps. I mean, yes, the human drama is also a big part of it, but we still need to know what's going on because this story is intertwined with cordyceps.
Yeah, you know what another dumb thing is? Why did the cultists let Ellie go after their village was attacked?
I thought that was so convenient. That was just too convenient to happen.
Why didn't they just shoot her in the head before they left?
If that's what was going to happen, I thought that entire scene was unnecessary.
So that's what I'm talking about, the poor characterization of Ellie. Like her intelligence goes back and forth. Her personality goes back and forth. And there are these scenes that are unnecessary. I feel like a lot of episode 4 and 5 were also unnecessary before episode 6.
What was that about? Episode 4 and 5?
That was about Dina and Ellie learning that they love each other.
Okay.
Because episode 5
when they
was
infiltrated
good,
Seattle.
Yeah. I just I don't understand Ellie. Like she hasn't grown up. But that's so weird because in episode 6, the Ellie I saw reacting to Joel confessing to her that yes, you were right. because Ellie is smart enough to know that you swore that you were telling the truth, and that was coming from a very smart person who realized that my dad is lying to me.
And that's especially ironic because, again, that's a flashback. That's even further into the past. And how did she become somehow dumber?
Yeah. Oh, walk of shame for Jin. Some kids are tall. You should know better. Ha ha ha. She isn't the brain. She's the muscle. She's young, rushed, impatient, reckless, and she just now is starting to mature emotionally. No, but ZZ, I have a question for you. Then why is Dina so mature? Why is Dina like?
Because she's about to be a mom. That changes everything, I guess.
No, but I think she was portrayed as more mature even before that. And maybe though. No, but the problem I have with that is, if she was consistently portrayed as immature throughout the entire season, then I wouldn't have any problem. But it seemed to me like she was making also very mature and intelligent decisions at the same time too. So, and like I said, Won-Jin said, the unnecessary scene with the cultists capturing her and then letting her go.
What was the whole point? If she was gonna get back on track in 2 minutes.
Yeah. So there were a lot of stupid things here that another problem. I think that cultists capturing Ellie's scene is symbolic of the problem of the entire season 2. This is just my impression, but I felt like conflicts in season 1 felt more organic. Here it seems more video game like kind of forced to get the protagonist in trouble.
Yeah.
I feel like, for example, their plan for Seattle infiltration. Episode 5 I had a problem with because she just happened to run into Nora. And
again, too convenient.
Yeah, there just a lot of that in this season, I feel. And another problem I have with season 2, the reason why I have a problem with season 2 is, Won-Jin, you mentioned how the Cordyceps the lore was not expanded upon.
Yeah.
You know what another problem I have? So does that problem also applies to the wolves and cultists. Because the problem...
Because we saw that flashback of, how they kind of began and everything, and it never bothered to expand on that.
So that's what I mean by it feel like video gamey, where it's just there.
To just give us, basic background.
But maybe there's too much of them then. Because another thing that bothered me about the Ellie kidnapping scene is we already know that they kidnap people and open their bellies up. Why do you need to reinforce this idea? You know why that's a problem? Because I know Ellie's not going to die. And
come on, it's kind of repetitive. We've seen that in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Kalima. We've seen that, man.
Let's stay in the season before we go. If we go there, then we have to compare with other shows. Oh, Lee-chan Ho in the building.
Oh, what's up?
I have a better question. What is mature? Yes, that's a good question. She probably grew up in a different social reality. Maybe, though. Maybe. So, maybe that's a good defense, though. Maybe she does have teenager angst. But like Won-Jin mentioned, she's 19. She's an adult.
Yeah.
And
she's barely a teen now.
No. Guys, I want to rebut you guys. Remember the psychiatrist said she was always like Joel before even they met?
Oh, yeah.
But here's the problem. I don't see Joel and Ellie. Joel is a cold, calculated killer when he needs to be. But Ellie, I don't think she's as rational. Okay, they can counter argument by saying that she's young, right? No, but I just felt like in season 1, I definitely felt like Ellie and Joel were similar. Here, I feel like Joel is just way more intelligent than Ellie.
I just cannot help fail to shake the feeling that Joel's been wasted.
Oh, yeah.
They should have kept him around a little longer.
Yo, then let's talk about episode 6. Because episode 6 was beautiful for me. Because remember last week I said, their acting really comes alive at episode 6? I felt that way. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey was amazing. Amazing in episode 6. The father and daughter dynamic. Because remember, they're not blood relations. The psychiatrist said, she's not your daughter. Fuck you. But episode 6 shows me that they are father and daughter in spirit.
And
Yeah.
I agree. And with episode 6, I particularly liked the
spaceship.
idea of replaying the episode, but in Pedro Pascal's perspective.
Don't you think that spaceship scene was beautiful?
Mm.
Like, because episode 6 was so good for me because it was the perfect the Bill moment for Joel and Ellie. Because remember in throughout season 1, Joel and Ellie had such a hard time, and we barely get to see them relax like Bill in episode 3 of season 1. Episode 6 in season 2 was that episode for me, where these two people who bonded together through struggle can finally express their love for each other. And it was especially fun because we know what kind of person Joel is. Grumpy, angry about her daughter's death, thinking about survival, but stumbling through fatherhood to a teenage daughter. Here, like smiling at the cake. Oh shit, I'm such a good dad. Fuck yeah, I'm doing a great job. And then her doing the lesbian stuff and him being confused is just a phase. Exactly what a non-lesbian would say. No, this is not a phase. I'm a lesbian dad. So there were these like tender moments that were.
Ah man, and I think if this was gonna be okay as a season with these 7 episodes, maybe they should have been arranged differently.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
man.
I think they should have started with Seattle and kind of make us like confused, like what the fuck is going on? And then it goes back and it ends with the death of Joel. That would be devastating for people, and I think that would kind of like give us the feeling that this is like the end of the season.
That's a great idea, man. Like maybe not exactly like how you said, but maybe put the episode 6 around episode 2.
Yeah.
Keep us guessing. Letting us know that Joel is dead. And showing more rampage by Ellie. Because the problem I have with Ellie's characterization, because when Zedzi says she's still immature, is by your argument, she had a different social experience. So don't you think that means she's more like mature than rest of her age, like normally would? So I feel like,
or maybe because of that, puberty is visiting her at a very different time of her life.
No, but remember when she's on a revenge, when she acts that way at the town, I have no problem with that. But when she started the revenge journey, where she has to think about her survival, like I was kind of unconvinced when she was shocked by the cultist's death. I'm like, girl, you almost been raped. Raped by like cannibals, and you seen your stepdad just straight up shoot a brother. Oh no, wait, did Ellie do that? Okay, it was Joe.
That was the kid's brother himself.
Oh right. So I'm like, this, why are you shocked by Seattle? You've seen stuff like this. Oh wait, no, 19 is a number. When you think of 19, you think of 15 with grown-up rights. They are super raw until 24. Maybe Zezzy, you and I and Won-Jin, we live in a good age. That's why we get to say that. Ichano, yeah, I love the spaceship scene. Yeah. No, so episode 6 was like super amazing for me. And I was just like, I was willing to forgive every sin of the season until I saw episode 7. Hey, Won-Jin, I can be honest. I got super fucking annoyed when Jesse got headshotted and we see Abby. I was like, where were you?
What the fuck?
Like, was it? So, hey, I want to add something to you. So you're saying we should arrange this differently, right? Let me add another possible change. Maybe this should have been 14 episodes from the start, and episode 1 is about Ellie, episode 2 is about Abby, episode 3 is about Ellie, episode 4 is about Abby.
Like fluctuate between
exactly.
the two.
That's another possibility, right? I'm not saying you were wrong. That's a good idea. I'm just saying, like, when I saw Abby, I was like, woman, where were you?
When I saw Abby, I was asking the same question. But what made me angrier was the end of the episode, because it starts with that stadium place, and it shows Abby, and it says Seattle Day 1. And it ends. I'm like, why are you doing this now? At the end of the season.
No, because season 3 is going to be about Abby until we see Ellie in episode 5, I guess.
But it doesn't really intrigue me. I don't care about where she was now.
Yeah, like I agree because for me the absence of Abby after episode 2 was super annoying. Because I think Abby also gets that new character like plus, because she was a new character, and from what they've shown us in episode 1 and 2, she seems sympathetic. So remember when we were talking about episode 4, we were like, I want to know more about Abby. Where is she? And then they just held it off for too long. Oh, poor Jesse. Oh my God, Jesse. Lee Chan-wong Hyung, now that you mentioned Jesse, I did not like the scene when Jesse and Ellie sat down and said like, oh, you would have come rescue for me. Remember they said that? No, but that doesn't make sense. Remember when Jesse, 15 minutes ago, Tommy's there, we have to save Tommy. Ellie's like, fuck that, I gotta go for Joey's killer.
I gotta go to the whale place.
Yeah, to find Abby. I was like, Jesse, Ellie clearly does not give a fuck about you. What are you talking about? Like, Jesse's line didn't make sense to me. No, Ellie, 15 minutes ago, she literally told you, I don't care about you.
That there's no guarantee that that's Tommy.
Yeah, I don't care about Tommy. I want to go kill Abby. And then why are you telling her that I came for you because I knew you were going to come for me too? No, my man. She clearly doesn't care about you. You were just like a seed maker. Like for her daughter or son, whatever that is. See, that's the weak writing on episode 7. Episode 7 was so trash. I got to be honest. Episode 7 was like episode 4 for me.
If they were gonna have like a 14-episode show, like you said, and alternate between not Dina, but Abby and Ellie, I'm pretty sure they will explain it in season 3. But I think the girl who gets shot through with the Magnum, the pregnant one, I think that's supposed to be like a greater tragedy. Maybe she also had a child who could be immune to the virus or something. I don't know. Maybe. So maybe they could have made that scene even more tragic, because it was very abrupt in season 7.
Hey,
not season 7, but in episode 7.
Hey, you know what another problem is? I have a problem with the character of Dina though, because remember, you and I, Won-Jin, we spent a dozen episode with Ellie, right, in season 1. Why couldn't have they made Ellie pregnant? That would have increased the stake, right? Like, because you have to think about this child and your desire for revenge for Joel. I just feel like a lot of the things that Dina did, I feel like Ellie should have done. Like, she's the calm one. Why is Ellie not calm? Because she seemed calm in season 1 more than season 2. I just have a problem with her characterization. She almost feels... The problem with Ellie, she almost feels like a side character. She doesn't have the central gravity that Joel had. And I have a problem with that. Abby was more interesting because Abby seemed more determined and more of a consistent character. Like even for the short time she had. Maybe in season 3 they'll disappoint us. But like Ellie is just, I don't know. Maybe like Zedzi says it's because she's immature. But Abby is the same age as Ellie, as I understand. She seems okay. And remember, who's that actor? He was great though, the black actor.
Jeffrey Wright.
Oh yeah, Jeffrey
the
Wright
leader
was
of the
great.
Wolves.
Yeah. But Abby, so according to Jeffrey Wright, Abby is considered like his successor. So that plot line was more interesting to me than the Ellie line.
Like, why is she considered the successor, and where were they going?
Yeah, it was so absurd when she got on that boat in the middle of the storm to get the wheel thing. Yeah, the scene was cool, but it was absurd. Like, why was she in a rush to drown? Because Ellie can't get pregnant with Dina, Joe. Duh. But Dina is pregnant, Zetzi. I'm saying Jesse could have spread his seed on Ellie. Hey, Won-Jin, that scene would have been more funny if Jesse seeded his seed on Ellie, and Ellie's like, okay, now fuck off. Like, because that seems more like
you mean
character.
Like something very clinical? Yeah.
Oh, in the show The Last of Us, how many animal attacks are there? Not many, Skywalkers. Human on human violence. So anyway, we can call this a season overall.
It does feel more like season 2 part 1.
Yeah.
There are a lot of unanswered questions and unfinished arc. So the season overall, I cannot regard it too highly, but The first 3 episodes were very promising for me. But yeah,
Once Joel died.
It kind of loses steam, and then it kind of fails to recover from that, in my opinion.
Abby seems okay because we don't know her story, and something tells me Abby and Ellie are very similar. Yeah, that's a possibility. So there's like Won-Jin. I'm glad you mentioned that. Well, it's hard to judge this season because unlike season 1, which seemed like a complete arc and a very proper conclusion, here the story's not ended.
Yeah.
Like how am I supposed to judge Ellie's journey when? Because another problem with episode 7 is Abby says that you killed my friends, right? So there's a whole nother plot that we're gonna see in season 3 in her perspective. That's missing here, and it's very annoying to be honest. It feels like I was gonna shit on it more, but I'll stop. They made such a bad decision to kill Joel. So Won-Jin, Alien 3, is this Alien 3 or remember?
I wouldn't compare this to any Alien. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing this to Alien.
Even Alien 3. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Abby's story is missing.
Because remember, Alien 3 was a very full independent movie, despite just resetting everything in the beginning.
That's a good point. You're saying that story was at least complete.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so number grade, my man?
I would give the entire season, I would give it a 7.
That's pretty generous.
I would give it a 7.
What? Alien's a piece of art. No, Zezzy, but we're talking about Alien 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have to grade them all differently. Because I think Won-Jin, Alien 2 will be your favorite, right?
1 and 2.
1 and 2?
1 and 2.
They're equal?
They're not equal.
No, come on now. You prefer Terminator 2 over Terminator.
But 2 is superior to 1.
Ah, there we go.
But 1 and 2, they're 2 very different movies.
That's true.
In my opinion.
1 is a thriller,
one is a thriller.
thriller.
2 is more of like an action thriller.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 6. Because I'm going to be honest, I would have given a 7 if episode 7 was good. But episode 7 annoyed me a lot.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was trash. Episode 7 was almost trash. And like, I don't understand Tommy and Jesse either, to be honest. Like,
yeah, why are they there?
Why are you there?
Because remember, Tommy also has a family.
Yeah, my man.
And why are there just you two?
Yeah.
Couldn't you have like rounded up a few more men?
Yeah. Hey, Won-Jin, you know what I almost wish? I almost wish episode 6 was like that Black Mirror episode, like Christmas special.
Oh, like a twist.
Yeah, no, I feel like episode 6 should have just been a special episode.
Oh, okay. 2. In that sense, okay.
Yeah, because episode 6 was just more special for me. Even the psychiatrist, that drama, maybe you could argue that that's why it had to be part of season 2. But I feel like last of season 1 comes out, and then the special episode of because the dinosaur climbing was beautiful, no? When Ellie climbed it,
yeah.
And because when Joel smiles is funny, because it's like Mandalorian taking off his mask. Because he's like,
Baby Yoda.
Here, baby Ellie.
Grogu.
Yeah, my Ellie, my girl.
Oh, shit. Come to think of it, Pedro Pascal is the Mandalorian.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were saying that knowing it. No, because like, so it's like a special episode, and then we go into like season 2 properly.
Yeah.
13 episodes.
That would have been better.
I think episode 6 was supposed to be the last episode. I think, Zezzy, that's like what Won-Jin said about rearranging the episodes. It could be earlier, it could be last, but that was a beautiful episode. And I think that's Eugene Hong-hyung's favorite episode too. So JoeJinMovieSoAwesome
gives this
Last of Us season 2
6.5.
6.5. Because hey, but I want to say this though. We gave it a 6.5, but if season 3 blows my mind, all is forgiven. This is technically not a season. This is technically not a season.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, that's our take. We're going to take a short break and come back to talk about Lazarus, our mid-season review. Big shout out to Scott Walker, Zezzy Uchan Hong. Thank you so much for joining in. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We'll see you guys in a bit. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Totally agree. Yes, Itzy. Yeah. But after seeing cannibals, I really don't mind if the wolves and cultists die anyway. Yeah. They should have had like a super zombie. 6 was not that good. No problem, channel.